So the biggest party of the summer came and went as SummerSlam came and showed us a lot of betrayals and a lot of big returns. Actually, a big return, not a lot, but we're going to be talking about that today. We're going to talk about SummerSlam, the Judgment Day betrayals and the chaos that happened. Plus, we're definitely going to be talking about the TK and the Shane McMahon meeting that happened this last week. We're going to be talking about that and much more on the Chokeslam Wrestling Report.
Is the moment we've all been waiting for the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
Welcome to another episode of the Chokeslam Wrestling Report. And today we're going to jump straight to the biggest event of the summer, which is SummerSlam, according to WWE, actually. The biggest event of the summer. And this year was a little earlier than usual. They usually do it in the middle of the summer or toward the ending of the summer. But here we are. It happened. It came, and we had shockers. We had some betrayals, a big return, and all this stuff I had predicted. I may not have predicted it in my podcast during the weeks, but I already had spoken to certain people who do podcasts that all this thing was going to happen. Now, the Finn Balor part, that was already brewing for the last couple of months. And I kept saying, when is Judgment Day going to break up? And this was going back and forth even before Damian Priest won the world title in SummerSlam. There was a lot of stuff going on. And I believe that everything started with Liv Morgan infiltrating the Judgment Day group. And that led off to what we saw on SummerSlam with Dominic Mysterio, or Dirty Dom, betraying Rhea Ripley. I mean, we saw this coming before even Rhea Ripley showed up and whatnot at back at Raw a couple of weeks ago, and we knew this was going to happen. You know what I'm saying? The whole story. I like the whole story that we're doing with the Liv Morgan and the Dirty Dom, but we knew this was going to happen. We knew that she was going to betray. But the biggest one was the Finn Balor turning on Damian Priest. But see, everything got stirred up this week. And this is what I say, the Judgment Day storyline in Raw was the best story in the whole the whole Raw show. Because even though the CM Punk, the Drew McIntyre, the three-way hate between all three of them was, we knew something was going to happen. At the end of the day, we knew that CM Punk was going to get screwed. Or at one point, which he didn't get screwed. He screwed his own self. We're going to be talking about that. But let's start it off with the whole Rhea Ripley getting betrayed. Now, the whole story in the match kind of brought me back to something that WWE went and stole from AEW. And I don't care what anybody tells me, and you can't tell me that they didn't steal this part from AEW when Will Ospreay and MJF had their match, where Will Ospreay in that match, according to the storyline, popped his shoulder back in place. The only difference that happened in this match between Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley is that, Rhea Ripley just slammed her whole shoulder against the announcer table to pop her shoulder back up in place. Don't get me wrong, the storyline, the match itself was pretty good and whatnot, and it told everything. But we knew that there was something there. Once I said, listen, I watch wrestling and I pay attention to matches. Now, of course, we're going to have these WWE drones and the fan, they be like, oh, you just talking shit, blah, blah, blah. But in reality, if you look at it, look at the MJF Will Ospreay match where the doctor had to come in the ring supposedly and pop Will Ospreay's shoulder back up. This was something similar. The only difference was there was no doctor and whatnot. She popped her own shoulder. I mean, it was crazy the way she did that. You know what I'm saying? It gave more intrigue and made her look like a beast, which Mommy is a real beast. So the thing was, soon as Dominic Mysterio stopped her from hitting Liv Morgan with the chair, I said something ain't right here. I know something is gonna happen. I already knew it was gonna happen. But I'm like, okay, this is the way they're doing it. I'm like, I mean, he's stopping her from getting disqualified. Otherwise, she will not win the title. But he played it perfect. It was played perfect, and we saw Liv Morgan retain the belt because Dominic Mysterio threw a chair in and pretty much distracted the referee while Liv Morgan hit her finishing move on Rhea Ripley on the chair to retain the title. Now, what's going to happen next? We have a show in Germany coming up, I think, at the ending of this month and whatnot. And the only reason, WWE is doing this Germany thing is because AEW is doing the All in London. That's what it is in Wembley. They're doing stuff. They do stuff. This is WCW, WWE all over again. But who cares? The match was good with Liv Morgan and the how you call him, and Rhea Ripley. I mean, and the way it ended with Dominic kissing Liv Morgan and breaking out with her. You know what I'm saying? Liv Morgan is now a member of the Judgment Day. Now you're gonna say, how is that? I mean, she was already hanging out in the clubhouse with them and causing chaos, and it happened again because then after that, in the middle during the match, way before the Seth Rollins and the how you call it, the CM Punk, actually CM Punk and Drew McIntyre match. After that match, we had the Damian Priest versus Gunther. Now, in this match, before the match started, Finn Balor said, if you need my help, I'll be out there. All you got to do is just let me know. Before that match, Damian Priest was pissed off at Dominic because of what he did to Rhea Ripley. And him and Finn had a disagreement where he said something to Finn and, you knew something was going to happen in the match with him. Sure enough, Finn comes out in his match, in Damian Priest's match, trying to, make sure that he gets boosted, I guess, motivate him to win the match. And sure enough, when I knew something was up when my man went and did the he puts, I mean, it kind of stupid in a way when he pinned Gunther near the ropes, which didn't make no sense. You got to make it obvious that he landed right next to the ropes, not roll him to the ropes and then hold his shoulders down, but his leg is right there. And here comes Finn Balor and puts Gunther's legs on the rope and whatnot. So my thing is, right there, once I said, oh, here we go. He's definitely going to lose the belt. And the way they made him lose the belt, Damian Priest, because I'm a big Damian Priest fan. I mean, I think he's been doing great. I've been following him since Ring of Honor days and whatnot. I feel that his reign as a world champion wasn't pushed the way I would have liked him to be. I mean, he had a botch back in I think it was the Seth Rollins match. He didn't go up on time, or somebody messed that up. But I like Damian Priest and his role in Judgment Day. Well, what that is, he pretty much was put to sleep by Gunther, and he loses the belt because of these two betrayals. Now, the question is, what's going to happen to Judgment Day? So now you have Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest. Who are the leaders of Judgment Day? Was Damian Priest. So now my thing, are they going to still be part of the Judgment Day, or Finn Balor and his group are going to be part of the Judgment Day? You know what I'm saying? They're going to need to bring a big man in there because Damian Priest is going to come after them. You know what I'm saying? It's going to come after them, So this is something that We're gonna have to watch Monday Night Raw to see what happens out of that. And you know, you got the thing in Berlin in Germany. Then you got Bad Blood coming up in October. So between that time, between those 60-day period, we're gonna see what's gonna happen. Now, Gunther being the world champion, I don't see anybody beating this guy at all. He's gonna have a long reign. He deserves the world title. He deserves everything that's coming to him because Gunther, aka Walter, okay, deserves this completely. You know what I'm saying? And whatnot. Now, let's go to the CM Punk Drew McIntyre match, and part where Seth Rollins was the referee. That situation there, I mean, not much to talk about. We already knew it was going to happen some way or the other. You know, Mr. Seth Rollins was going to get involved some way, but with I didn't get this part. How is it that CM Punk pretty much screw his own self? Because then he grabs Seth Rollins and give him the go to sleep and whatnot. Rollins is the damn referee. Why would you even that didn't make no sense to me. Why would you knock out the referee? The special referee is the only referee. You're gonna knock him out with a go to sleep and whatnot, and he pretty much screw himself. Now, the story is that Drew McIntyre claims that he is done with CM Punk. He still took his little, you know, Larry and AJ little bracelet. You know what I'm saying? He still has it. Now, are we gonna ramp up these Seth Rollins CM Punk feud, or what? Are they gonna face each other at Bad Blood? I mean, where are we gonna see here? You know what I'm saying? Now, you're probably saying to yourself, what happened to the other matches? Well, first of all, these Sami Zayn and Braun Breaker match, we knew Braun Breaker was gonna win. You know what I'm saying? That's nothing to talk about there. Braun Breaker is an Intercontinental Champion. They should have gave him that Money in the Bank. I don't know why the hell they waited till SummerSlam for him to get it. Didn't make no sense. Didn't make no sense at all. So same thing with the LA Knight Paul Logan match. That's 8 months late. You know what I'm saying? 8 months late and whatnot. And he hits Logan Paul hits LA Knight with the brass knucks, but yet LA Knight gets up and pins him. What are we doing? What are we doing? You know what I'm saying? What are we doing? Then we have the Bayley versus Nia Jax, Tiffany Stratton distracting Bayley, making believe she's going to cash in on the thing on the Money in the Bank briefcase and whatnot. And I didn't care for it. I mean, once I heard that she's coming in to cash in the Money in the Bank, I said she's not cashing it in. She's helping Nia Jax, and then she's gonna catch Nia Jax when Nia Jax least expected. Now, are they planning to put Nia Jax as a babyface against Tiffany Stratton or making Tiffany Stratton? I don't care. Honestly, I don't care. Now, Tiffany Stratton is a great wrestler. Don't get me wrong. Just don't like her whole character. I don't. She sounds whiny. She thinks she's the best. It's the same thing with Nia Jax. Nia Jax, I see her on TV. It's like turn off TV mode. I don't care. I don't know why they gave her the world title. You know what I'm saying? But I already knew she was going to win the world title when she won Queen of the Ring. Because their division right now, they're not pushing anybody. And anybody could tell me otherwise that they pushing people. The only one they're pushing right now is Tiffany Stratton. That's it. Who else are they pushing? They're not pushing anybody else. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't care. I don't care to comment. It is what it is. Then the main event, we saw Roman Reigns return. Again, when I say something, and for those who are seeing out there, when I say something about someone returning, I don't talk because I just want to talk. It's what makes sense. What made sense here was Roman Reigns' return, and it returned in a big, big event. He wasn't going to return Money in the Bank. He was not going to return in Clash of the Castle. He wasn't going to return to no low budget, or I'm going to call it low budget events. He's going to return on a big stage, like a SummerSlam, a WrestleMania, a Royal Rumble, stuff like that he knows that it's going to make a big impact. And last night, it made a big impact. Between the match, there was, the fact that Art Anderson wasn't backstage. I mean, I was surprised to see R. Anderson backstage in WWE. Was this the same guy that got fired? Spoke so much crap about WWE, what happened in the back, but they always come back and return. Don't ask me why. I mean, when I hear people complain about what WWE did to them, whatever, I don't want to hear it, because you know what? 5 years from now, you up there again kissing ass at that same promotion. It's the same thing. So R. Anderson coming back, giving a pep talk to Cody, talking about, you know, your friends are on the way. When he said your friends are on the way, I knew it was Kevin Owens. I knew it was Randy Orton. They were going to be back. And I knew that Roman Reigns was going to come back. And I said this in a podcast while watching the podcast. I kind of commented. And I said that Roman Reigns was going to come back at SummerSlam. He's going to cost Solo Sikoa the match and whatnot. The people said was, oh, well, why has to be that a distraction and whatnot, you know, or it doesn't make no sense and blah, blah. I'm like saying to myself, okay, when it happens, I'll be the first one to say, I told you so. And it's exactly what I said. It happened. Solo Sikoa got distracted and whatnot, got taken out by Roman Reigns, and that was it. And that was it. Roman Reigns is back. The original tribal chief, that's what OTC meant in his shirt. Original tribal chief is back. Now the whole, you know, bloodline civil war is about to start. But there may be a problem, because Jacob Fatu went and did a splash from the top rope into the table, which I'm sure he ain't gonna be doing this after that anymore. He did a splash, but his leg hit the hard part of the table, and God knows if he has a fracture on his leg, on his tibia, anything is possible. Because as soon as he hit that, he grabbed his leg, and once he grabbed his leg, I say, yo, he's hurt. He is hurt. So, you know, and that's going to be not a good thing for the Bloodline 2.0, I'll call them, and because now they got a guy who just won the tag team titles with Tama Tonga this past Friday, and now he's probably going to be hurt unless they do the Freebird thing where they could, anybody of the Bloodline could defend the belt with Tonga Loa. I don't know what's up with Tonga Loa and his eye patch. I don't understand that part, so I saw with an eye patch this week. I don't know, whatever. But SummerSlam itself, it was a pretty good show. It wasn't bad. I just hate when I see, first of all, the show the Jelly. Why was he in the ring participating in stupid segment with The Miz, R-Truth, Austin Theory? This guy, he gets mocked, him and the Grace, whatever his name, tag team partner he is. These two guys, bunch of clowns. They're not using them correctly. And for Jelly, are you serious? Jelly doing a John Cena fire knuckle shuffle? What? Why are we seeing this shit in our TVs? Why? These guys should not be nowhere in the ring. Why? Are you giving false hope that these people who has no reason to be in a wrestling ring, that they could go into the ring, do a fire knuckle shuffle to a wrestler, and everything is cool, all for kicks and laughs? First of all, Jelly was in that freaking 15 minutes of the show singing the national anthem. Then he's singing some stupid song that I don't know what it is and whatnot. You're wasting time. WWE wastes time. Okay, you don't want the show to go long. They cut this shit. This is not necessary. It's not. So moving along, let's talk about what the big news this week was. I got a couple of things to say this week. Well, as far as the TK and the Shane McMahon secret meeting that happened. Now, a couple of weeks ago or a month ago, there was rumors that Shane McMahon was going around and, you know, asking AEW wrestlers about him joining the company in some capacity. Now, this week, Fightful Select and Wrestle Talk talked about that they confirmed, and there was a picture of Shane McMahon and Tony Khan in a secret meeting together. Now, we don't know where is this leading to. I personally feel that why we're bringing in Shane McMahon. Now, a lot of people would say, oh, but Shane McMahon got knowledge. Shane McMahon could be creative. Shane McMahon could do this. And how quick people forget what Shane McMahon did in WWE. Let's talk about how he tried to book himself a couple of years ago to win the Royal Rumble and get a world title shot. Okay? That led him getting fired by his own father. See, wrestling fans are fickle. They quickly forget the stuff that these people do. Okay? Shane McMahon is a cancer to any company because he figures with the last name McMahon, he thinks he could do whatever he wants. And this could cause problems. Okay? And whatnot. So why are we bringing Shane McMahon again? For what? He's going to have some type of EVP status like the Young Bucks and what? Come on, stop. We do not need him. Okay? We do not need him. And I don't care what anybody says that we need him. We don't need him. Okay? I'm sure that all the people who are right now pushing the buttons as far as AEW is concerned, I'm sure they're doing a good job right now because the show's a little better, even though their numbers dropped almost 100,000 views because of the Olympics, which I will never see the Olympics ever again at the whole controversy with the woman boxing match, which I'm not going to talk about here, but I'm not supporting the Olympics, and now I won't ever support the Olympics. But I digress. But why is he, again, why are we bringing him here? I don't know. Also, we saw the Britt Baker being suspended. I thought that was just a storyline situation. Apparently, Britt Baker said something about MJF, about complaining about MJF and Will Ospreay match being an hour long and whatnot. First of all, Britt Baker swears that she is a superstar. Swear that she's the next big, like the all be all in professional wrestling. That's right now. Look, at the end of the day, I think she came back. She came back thinking, well, I'm back. I'm going to be in the center of the attention when the freaking roster has Toni Storm, Gianna Purrazzo. They have Thunder Rosa. I mean, though Thunder Rosa, I'm not a big fan of hers anymore after her bullshit. Now Camille, Sasha Banks, even though Sasha Banks irks me. They got a whole roster that they name alone are way bigger than, Britt Baker. Britt Baker, okay, you former AEW Women's Champion. So what? Camille's been a former NWA World Champion. She had that belt for like almost 900 days. Okay. Diana Purrazzo, two-time Impact World Champion, plus Ring of Honor World Champion, plus AAA World Champion 2 times. Toni Storm, champion everywhere she's gone. You know what I'm saying? Like, all these women that are there have more prestige. Saraya, Saraya doesn't get pushed. You don't see Saraya complaining, but yet Britt Baker is always causing some type of trouble. You know what I'm saying? And to me, what it seems like, even though we don't know what happened in the backstage, but she comes back and she gets suspended. And the question is, how did you come back and you're already suspended? And this all happened because Alicia Tout, MJF's girlfriend, heard what was being said and went back to MJF. Of course, she's going to tell MJF. Now, Alicia Tout pretty much now probably is not wanted in the locker room, in the backstage of the locker room with the females, because now she's going back and starting shit. So now she's an island on her own. You know what I'm saying? So that's not good. Not good at all. So, that's what's going on in AEW. I don't think Shane McMahon should be in AEW at all. Let's talk about NXT this week. NXT had the worst rating in their history and whatnot. Now, it's funny how we didn't hear a peep of NXT WWE fans talking about how they show did the first part of the Great American Bash, or they should call it the Great American Trash, because they only have 483 views this week. That's Rampage Collision numbers. Okay, I didn't hear nobody talking about how, this and that when AEW went to the 500,000 a couple of weeks ago and whatnot. Where's the complaint about that now? And this is the thing I talk about. These tribalism going on. They go and they quick to jump on AEW when their numbers drop, but nobody talks when NXT numbers drop or when the WWE numbers drop. Where are you guys, the same people that bring that energy when AEW brings down like 500,000 views and whatnot. Where's that same energy for NXT? So the Great American Trash, and I'm going to call it the Great American Trash because they're taking a WCW event that was built by Dusty Rhodes back in the days, had Joe Henry doing an Elias number. Joe Henry, people talking about what you mentioned his name, he appeared. Well, Joe Henry again, Ahmed Carter. This guy's not doing nothing for these people. TNA right now, the rumor or the rumor going around that the reason actually the Scott D'Amore got fired was because Anthem wanted to work with WWE. D'Amore didn't want to work with WWE because he felt then he wanted to deal with a sexual harassment company and whatnot. Yep. That is the rumor going around. And that's the reason that Scott D'Amore got let go and Anthem decided to move along with the partnership. But if you look at the partnership now, none of this NXT is not doing well. TNA is not doing shit after this anniversary, and then Dave Hebner or Earl Hebner showing up in a match between Ali and whatever his name is, the one that with the wrestles with feet barefooted. That was a surprise, but then Jordan Grace tried to back up to him about due to the Microsoft outage, a lot of wrestlers couldn't make it. Stop. You put your foot in your mouth, and now you look stupid. And the surprise was Earl Hebner or Dave Hebner, whichever Hebner. It was a Hebner. Come back in Montreal and whatnot, and cost Ali the title. And speaking of Ali is done with TNA, and I mean I'm happy that he is, honestly, because now with this partnership with WWE, you think WWE now, you think they ain't gonna want to be Ali, why don't you just come in and wrestle? And I will show you've been here before. Same thing with Nick Nemeth, two guys that WWE treated like shit, and now they're working with TNA, and Nick Nemeth being the world champion in TNA, and Ali was the X Division champion till he lost to Mike Bailey. That's the guy I was talking about that everybody is big about. This guy's not all that. And so you got two champions who were former WWE stars, and now Ali doesn't have the belt. He's leaving. We don't know where he's at. He could be heading to AEW. And Nick Nemeth, who has won 3 world titles in a matter of 8 months, he won the Global World Championship in New Japan earlier this year, won the AAA Mega Champion, I think it was in April, and now he's the TNA World Champion in the TNA Wrestling. So now you're going to try to bring him in? I don't know about that. You know what I'm saying? But that is what's going on in the wrestling world. It's crazy. It's crazy, so we'll see what happens. Coming up now, we got I want to continue watching the New Japan Climax, G1 Climax 34. I haven't had a chance to watch some of the matches. It's been crazy. And we're definitely going to now keep an eye on AEW, and with the All In coming up and whatnot. There's very, very interesting that Daniel Bryan or Bryan Danielson is putting his career on the line against Swerve. Are we going to see Bryan Danielson win the AEW World Championship from Swerve? Is that a good move? Or he loses and at Wembley and loses honorably? But we'll see what happens, and it is what it is. So that is it for me, guys. Again, you guys can follow me right there. You can see it right there. Let's see, right there. Let's see. Hey, right there. See that? Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube. Join the YouTube channel. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, guys, and hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell for new uploads and whatnot. Also, check me out on TikTok, the Chokeslam Wrestling, and see all the small clips I have there. Also, guys, you could check out the podcast store. I have a podcast store with shirts. Again, right there, t-shirts, hats, hoodies. Go to tcwr.veryinkpodcast.com veryimpressive.com. That's TCWR.veryimpressive.com. And check out the hoodies, the shirts I have there, the hats, and whatnot. Support the podcast, guys. Support the podcast. Share it with your friends and whatnot. And support the podcast. Until then, guys, I will see you guys next week. I am trying to see if I bring in a guest and whatnot. So we'll see what happens coming up. That's in the plan. Otherwise, guys, I'll see you next week with more wrestling news and rumors.